most entrepreneurs never see. Most entrepreneurs think their problem is visibility. Visibility without systems just creates more chaos. The key is that attention becomes contacts. You want that attention to get into your ecosystem and become a solid contact for you, okay? Because followers don't build businesses, contacts do. Most sales happen between the 5th and the 12th touch point. The businesses that scale aren't the loudest ones. They're the ones with the strongest system.
If your business feels chaotic, even when your content is doing well, it's not because you need more visibility. It's because you're missing the systems behind it. In this episode, Natasha breaks down the 5 invisible systems that turn attention into consistent revenue.
Hey, welcome back to The Digital Shift. I'm your host, Natasha Roberson, automation architect, systems mentor, and co-owner of Self-Made. And today we're going to talk about something that most entrepreneurs never see. All right. But it's the reason certain businesses grow faster, sell more consistently, and feel calmer to run. And that is invisible systems. You've probably seen businesses where everything just seems to flow and people discover them. They join their email list, they get nurtured, they buy, they stay, they refer others. From outside, it looks effortless. But what you don't see is the infrastructure underneath all of it. So today I'm going to break down the 5 invisible systems that every 6-figure business has installed. Because once you understand these systems, you stop wondering why things feel chaotic in your business and you start seeing exactly what needs to be built. So let's dive in. Let me start with why most businesses stay stuck. All right. Before we talk about the 5 systems, let's talk about something really important, in my opinion. Most entrepreneurs think their problem is visibility. Have you said that? Have you said that? Have you said that? Right? They believe they just need to post more content, to grow their audience, or reach more people. Then the revenue is going to magically follow. But here is the reality. Visibility without systems just creates more chaos. Can y'all agree? There's more DMs, there's more messages, there's more questions, there's more leads falling through the cracks. I see this all the time. Someone's content starts performing really well, and suddenly they feel overwhelmed. They can't keep up with the messages. They forget to follow up. They lose track of those leads, not because they aren't capable, but because their back-end system wasn't built for growth. Many of them are doing it all manually still, or kind of piecing a couple systems together. And this is why entrepreneurs stall out at around 20K, 30K, 50K years. They're working hard. They absolutely are, but they're missing the infrastructure that allows growth to scale. That is what these 5 systems come in, right? This is when they come in. So system number 1, lead capture. The first invisible system every 6-figure business has is a lead capture system. This means every time somebody discovers you, there's a clear place for them to enter into your world, right? Not just hit follow, not just watch your content, but actually join your ecosystem. And this might look something like a lead magnet. You're giving a freebie, a checklist, or you're doing free trials or things like that. Maybe it's a quiz. Maybe it's drop this keyword and I'll send you the deets, right? Maybe it's webinar or a live workshop or an event, right? Maybe it's they're applying to work with you. The key is that attention becomes contacts. You want that attention to get into your ecosystem and become a solid contact for you, okay? Because followers don't build businesses, contacts do. So if somebody discovers you today, but doesn't buy immediately, your system should make sure you can continue the conversation tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now. Without this system, your audience stays scattered. With this system, it allows you to begin building a real asset, okay? And that's your list. So let's talk about the second system, nurture. The second invisible system, like I said, is nurture. This is where the trust is built, because people rarely buy the first time they see something. They buy after multiple touch points. You do, right? Nurture systems are going to include things like email follow-up, email sequences, SMS follow-ups, educational content, maybe some stories, some case studies, some testimonials, some objection handling. Think of nurture as the process that moves someone from I'm curious to, all right, quick pause before we continue, because if you're listening to this podcast and thinking, I love the strategy, but the tech still feels overwhelming, you're not alone. That's exactly why Tech Savvy School exists. Tech Savvy School is where entrepreneurs learn how to actually build the systems behind the scalable business, funnels, automations, workflows, and tools explained in plain language, step by step. No guessing, no duct taping, platforms together, just clarity and confidence with tech that supports your growth. This podcast helps you think differently about your business. Tech Savvy School helps you implement what you're learning. If you're ready to stop feeling stuck on all the tech side, visit techsavvyschool.com and explore the trainings. All right, let's get back to the episode. I trust this person. Most businesses skip this step. They absolutely do. They introduce themselves and they immediately start selling. But trust isn't built through one message. It's built through consistent communication over time. And businesses that do this really, really well, they sell without the pressure because their audience feels confident in their decision. The third invisible system is our CRM tracking. This is where all your contacts go. Right? CRM simply means customer relationship management. And this system answers one important question. Do you know what your leads are doing? Do you know who opened your emails, who clicked your links, who watched your training, who visited your website or your pricing page or your program sales page? Or are you just simply guessing? Six-figure businesses don't guess. They track behavior because behavior tells you intent. When someone clicked your pricing page, it's so different than someone who just joined your email list. I just joined somebody's emails list this morning, but I haven't went to their website and started clicking around on their pricing. I am one lead on a newsletter, weekly newsletter. The moment I start clicking on pricing, my coldness as a lead, right? A new lead comes in, they're cold. As soon as I start clicking on pricing, that temperature of that lead starts to increase. And if you don't know when that happens, how are you going to be able to have the conversation in the next flow with them of talking about pricing? Pricing may be not even where you're thinking because they just came into your newsletter. But wait, they started clicking around. They stayed there. Ooh, they're interested. Let's start talking about some pricing. And so you want to start thinking about how you can segment these people with intent. And when you start responding based on their behavior, your conversions improve dramatically. All right. So the fourth invisible system is the follow-up. This is the system that recovers the sales most businesses lose. Here's the stat that surprises so many people. Most sales happen between the 5th and the 12th touch point. You've heard that over and over and over again. But most entrepreneurs stop after one or two. They send one email or one message. They assume the lead isn't interested. But often that lead is simply busy, distracted, still thinking, or waiting for reassurance. So the follow-up system that you want to have must include reminder messages, additional education, answers to common objections, limited time offers, and invitations to take the next step. This system is what turns the interest into action. Without it, leads are just going to disappear. They're going to find somebody else to go buy from, somebody else that nurtured them and followed up with them, right? But with it, opportunity stays alive. And the fifth invisible system is retention. This is where real businesses and their stability happens. It happens, okay? This is where real business stability happens. Retention is like, back in my days as a network marketer, okay? Before I had these systems in place, it was like January, okay, new customers, get them started, get them started, get them started. All right, go back. New customers, get them started, get them started. I did this month over month, getting new customers, getting them started, new customers, get them started, that I was forgetting about nurturing and following up with the ones I already had. So I was like constantly losing customers that had bought previously. I was having to replace them, right? Have you ever felt like that? That you just feel like you're replacing all the time? And this year, when I put in my retention system, it became the easiest revenue in my business. Repeatable revenue, right? It comes from people who already trust you. The retention system includes things like onboarding experience. I had that. Customer communities, I didn't have that. Follow-up education, definitely didn't do that. Upsells, the next step offers, didn't do that, right? So when I started to look at this retention back in the day, I was like, ooh, I really need all of the steps of the retention system, not just the onboarding. I was just doing new, onboard, new, onboard, new, onboard. And so I had to keep doing new, onboard, because I wasn't retaining. I wasn't growing. I was getting new, but I was losing them as fast as I was getting them, right? So when retention systems exist, customers don't just buy once. They stay, they grow with you, they refer others. And this is where your business is going to stop chasing new clients consistently month over month and start building long-term relationships. So let me bring this all together. I want to recap these 5 invisible systems every 6-figure business has. They have a lead capture, they have a nurture, they have a CRM tracking, they have a follow-up, and they have retention. When these systems are installed, revenue becomes more predictable. We've talked about that before in a podcast. Marketing becomes extremely effective. And your business stops relying on your daily energy every single day, right? Instead, your systems begin doing the larger part of your work. And this shift from the hustling in your business to engineering your business. So if you're listening to this and realizing your business is missing some of these systems or all of them, you're not alone. This is exactly why we use GHL and created the Self-Made Hub, an all-in-one marketing hub where we become your mentors. We teach you how to implement all of these systems inside the Self-Made Hub. Check out our hub at self-made.biz/the hub. Check that out. This is your all-in-one CRM that we've just talked about, where you're going to build all of these systems. And on top of that, you don't just get the platform and the software, you get us as mentors. And if you want to take that next step, this is exactly where our lab comes in. Inside the lab, we don't just talk about strategy. We actually help you install the systems, your CRM, your nurture sequence, your follow-up automation, your customer journey. So if you're ready to stop duct taping your business together and start building real infrastructure, you can learn more. Just simply down below, click the links and check it out. Join us. Let us mentor you. Let us help you get from where you are to where you want to be much faster. Mentorship is the way. And our one login, one step, one stop platform is the best platform out there. So I want to thank you so much for spending some time with me today. And remember, the businesses that scale aren't the loudest ones. They're the ones with the strongest systems. So I'll see you on the next podcast inside the Digital Shift.
If you're getting value from these conversations, don't let this be the only episode that you listen to. Every episode of this podcast is designed to help you build a smarter business, one with real systems behind the scenes, not just ideas, motivation, or hustle. We break down what's actually working right now when it comes to automation, content, follow-up, and scaling without the burnout. If you want to see how all of this comes together in real life, I highly recommend watching the Self-Made Hub demo. Inside the Self-Made Hub, you'll see how entrepreneurs turn content into leads and leads into conversations and conversations into consistent sales using simple automated systems that don't feel overwhelming or cold. You can watch the demo anytime at self-made.biz/demo. Then queue up another episode because the shift doesn't happen from one conversation. It happens when you start connecting all the dots. And I'll see you in the next episode.